Have you ever seen a creature that looks like it's smiling? All the time? Now imagine that same cute little face attached to a body that can regrow its heart, its limbs, and even parts of its brain. Sounds impossible, right? Well, welcome to the unbelievable world of the axolotl. This tiny amphibian, found only in the ancient waters of Mexico, has left scientists speechless for decades. It's cute, it's weird, and it might just hold the secret to immortality. With its feathery pink gills and forever baby-like appearance, the axolotl doesn't just look unique, it is unique. While most creatures grow up and move on from their larval stage, the axolotl decided to say, nope, I'm staying adorable forever. And somehow, it's made that work for millions of years. But don't be fooled by its innocent face. Beneath that smile lies a biological superpower that could change the future of human medicine. You lose a limb, it grows it back. You damage its heart, it regenerates. Even parts of its brain can reform perfectly, like nothing ever happened. Scientists have tried to unlock this mystery for years, and every time they think they've figured it out, the axolotl surprises them again. In today's episode of Animal Ranking Hub, we're diving deep into the story of this smiling marvel of nature, the cutest creature you've ever seen that refuses to die. We'll uncover how it defies evolution, why it's considered a real-life, immortal baby, and what its DNA could mean for the future of humankind. So, if you're ready to have your mind blown by one of the strangest, most lovable creatures on Earth, stick around. And don't forget to subscribe to Animal Ranking Hub, where we explore the world's most powerful, mysterious, and heart-melting animals, ranked and revealed like never before. Let's dive in and meet the creature that just might live forever, the unbelievably cute appearance of the axolotl. At first glance, the axolotl doesn't look like a scientific miracle. In fact, it looks like something straight out of a children's cartoon. Wide eyes, a constant little grin, and soft pink frills that look more like flower petals than gills. But that innocent, smiling face has fooled millions. Beneath its baby-like charm hides one of nature's most extraordinary biological designs. Measuring only about 9 to 12 inches long, the axolotl seems delicate, fragile even. Its smooth, pale skin, ranging from ghostly white to golden or even pitch black, gives it an almost ethereal glow underwater. But the most striking feature? Those feathery gills that wave gently from either side of its head, like tiny cherry blossom branches drifting in the current. They're not just for decoration. Those gills are the secret behind the axolotl's ability to breathe and survive underwater for its entire life. And here's something you might not know. The axolotl never goes through the metamorphosis that turns most amphibians into land dwellers. While frogs lose their tails and climb onto land, the axolotl simply says, "Nah, I like it down here," and stays in the water forever, keeping its youthful looks for life. It's like the Peter Pan of the animal kingdom, forever young, forever smiling, and completely content living in its underwater world. But this eternal youth isn't just cute. It's the first clue to its unbelievable powers of regeneration. Because the same genetic quirks that keep it from growing up also make it capable of doing something almost no other creature can. And that's where things get really crazy. Born from myth. Long before scientists were amazed by its ability to regrow body parts, the axolotl was already legendary. In fact, this smiling little creature was once considered the incarnation of a god. According to ancient Aztec mythology, the axolotl was born from Xolotl, the god of lightning, fire, and death. When the gods demanded Xolotl sacrifice himself to create the sun and the moon, he refused. Terrified, he transformed himself again and again to escape. First into corn, then into a maguey plant, and finally into a small creature that could hide underwater forever. That creature was the axolotl. The Aztecs said that's why the axolotl never left the water. It was a god in disguise, hiding from death itself. And strangely enough, thousands of years later, that legend feels more true than ever, because this animal really does cheat death. Think about it. Xolotl, the god of the underworld, turned himself into a creature that could survive wounds that would kill anything else. Cut off its leg, it grows a new one. Damage its spinal cord, it heals. Even destroy part of its brain? The axolotl says, "Give me a few weeks," and grows it back. Maybe the Aztecs didn't just create a myth. Maybe they were describing a real biological miracle. A creature so extraordinary, so defiant of death, that it blurs the line between legend and science. The Vanishing Home. The axolotl's story isn't just one of wonder, it's also one of survival. Because while this smiling creature may look eternal, its home is vanishing before our eyes. Once upon a time, the axolotl ruled the ancient lakes of the Valley of Mexico. Its kingdom stretched across a vast network of clear, cool waters, especially Lake Xochimilco, a shimmering freshwater paradise. But fast forward to today, and that paradise has all but disappeared. The growing city of Mexico City, with more than 20 million people, has drained and polluted most of the axolotl's natural habitat. What's left of Lake Xochimilco is just a shadow of its former glory. Narrow canals, murky water, and floating islands known as chinampas. Scientists who once found thousands of axolotls in a single day now struggle to find even a few. In fact, in 2014, researchers spent weeks searching the canals and found none. Zero. It was like the smile of nature itself had faded away. But hope isn't lost. Local conservationists and scientists are fighting back, restoring parts of Xochimilco and creating protected zones where axolotls can breed safely again. Some even raise them in laboratories, hoping to one day reintroduce them into cleaner waters. Still, the axolotl's vanishing home is a stark reminder. Even the most miraculous creatures on Earth can't survive without us caring for their world. And that's the great irony. The animal that can regrow its body can't regrow its planet. The power of regeneration. Now, let's talk about what makes the axolotl truly mind-blowing. This adorable, smiling little creature can do something that sounds straight out of science fiction. It can regrow almost any part of its body. Lose a leg, it grows a new one. Lose its tail, back in a few weeks. Damage its heart, it repairs itself completely. Even parts of its spinal cord or brain can regenerate perfectly, as if nothing ever happened. And this isn't some slow, messy process. Within just days, the axolotl's body kicks into action. First, it seals the wound without leaving a scar, something humans can't do. Then, its cells around the injury transform into a kind of biological clay called a blastema. These miracle cells can become anything: muscle, bone, skin, nerves, whatever the body needs. It's like nature's ultimate 3D printer, rebuilding life from scratch. Even more shocking, axolotls can regenerate the same limb multiple times, without error. If you cut off a leg 10 times, please don't. It'll grow back 10 times, perfectly. Each new limb will have the same size, shape, and even nerve function as the original. Scientists have spent decades trying to understand this, hoping it could unlock secrets for human regeneration. Imagine healing spinal injuries or regrowing organs. And while humans can't yet perform this kind of biological magic, studying the axolotl's DNA has already revealed genes that could change the future of medicine forever. It's as if this tiny amphibian holds the blueprint of immortality, a smiling clue left by evolution itself. So the next time you see its cute little face, remember, that smile hides one of nature's most powerful secrets. The secret of eternal youth. You've heard of the fountain of youth, right? Well, the axolotl is the fountain of youth. It just happens to swim around with a smile. While most amphibians go through a dramatic transformation, growing lungs, losing gills, and moving onto land, the axolotl never grows up. It stays in its larval form for its entire life. That means it keeps its gills, its tail, and its permanently adorable baby face forever. Scientists call this phenomenon neoteny, a fancy word for refusing to grow up. But this eternal youth isn't just cute, it's one of the biggest mysteries in evolutionary biology. Instead of developing into an adult salamander, the axolotl's body somehow pauses its growth process indefinitely. Its hormones that would normally trigger metamorphosis, they just don't activate. It's as if nature hit the pause button and never pressed play again. What's even crazier is that this refusal to grow up might actually help the axolotl regenerate. Because its body never fully differentiates like other animals, its cells remain flexible, capable of transforming into new tissues whenever needed. In other words, staying forever young isn't just a quirk, it's the secret behind its superpower. And here's a wild twist. Scientists can actually force an axolotl to grow up. By adding a specific hormone, thyroxine, it transforms into a land-dwelling salamander. But once it does, it loses its ability to regenerate the same way. In choosing adulthood, it gives up immortality. So while humans spend billions chasing anti-aging secrets, the axolotl figured it out ages ago. Stay young, stay small, and keep smiling forever. Colors of life. If you think all axolotls look the same, think again. This little amphibian doesn't just defy death, it does it in style. In the wild, axolotls are usually a dark, muddy brown or black. That helps them blend perfectly with the murky canals of Mexico's Lake Xochimilco, where shadows and silt protect them from predators. But in captivity, oh, they're absolute supermodels. There's the leucistic axolotl, pure white skin, pink feathery gills, and bright black eyes that look like little dots of ink. It's the one you've probably seen trending on TikTok and YouTube, the smiling marshmallow of the animal kingdom. Then there's the golden albino, shimmering with a soft yellow glow like sunlight through honey. The melanoid axolotl, jet black, mysterious, looking almost like a shadow that came to life. And the rarest of all, piebald and copper morphs, each with their own unique mix of shades and speckles. These color variations aren't just for looks. They tell a story of genetics, adaptation, and even human influence. Because many of these colors only exist thanks to selective breeding by scientists and enthusiasts. In fact, the axolotl is one of the few animals whose genetics we've mapped so completely that we can predict its color just by analyzing its DNA. And that DNA, by the way, is 10 times larger than a human's. That's right. This smiling little creature carries more genetic information than we do. Hidden within those genes might be the very code for regeneration, youth, and survival itself. Cute? Absolutely. But behind every color, every flick of those feathery gills, lies the greatest mystery of all: how something so delicate could be designed to last forever. Healing the future. What if I told you the cure for amputations, paralysis, or even heart failure might already exist, and it's swimming around in a tank somewhere, smiling at you? For decades, scientists around the world have been obsessed with one question: how does the axolotl do it? Inside this tiny amphibian lies one of the greatest biological mysteries of all time. When it loses a limb, its cells don't panic or scar like ours do. Instead, they calmly gather, reorganize, and rebuild. Every tissue, muscles, nerves, even blood vessels, reforms perfectly without a single mistake. In 2018, researchers mapped the entire axolotl genome, and what they found was staggering. Its DNA is 10 times longer than a human's, containing special genes that control how and when cells regenerate. Some of those genes are similar to ours, just switched off over the course of evolution. Meaning, the key to human regeneration may already exist inside us, just waiting to be reactivated. Medical teams are now using axolotl research to study spinal cord repair, organ regeneration, and even anti-aging therapies. In experiments, scientists have triggered partial regrowth of heart tissue in mammals by mimicking axolotl DNA behavior. It's not science fiction anymore. It's the blueprint for the next era of medicine. Think about it. Humans have been chasing immortality for centuries. Kings searched for elixirs, philosophers dreamed of eternal youth. But all along, the secret wasn't hidden in a potion or a temple. It was right here, smiling up from the bottom of a lake in Mexico. The axolotl doesn't just heal itself. It might one day help us heal the world. The edge of extinction. It's almost impossible to believe, but the same creature that can regrow its heart, its brain, and its entire body can't regrow its home. Today, the axolotl stands on the edge of extinction. Not because of predators, not because of disease, but because of us. Over the last century, the ancient waters of Lake Xochimilco have been drained, polluted, and filled with invasive species. The clean, plant-filled canals that once sparkled under the Mexican sun are now murky and crowded with city runoff. And in those waters, the axolotl, this smiling miracle of nature, is disappearing. In 1998, scientists estimated there were over 6,000 axolotls per square kilometer. By 2014, that number dropped to less than 1. Think about that. From thousands to almost none. A creature that's been around since the time of the Aztecs, nearly gone in just a few human generations. But there's still hope. Local conservationists and biologists are racing against time. They're restoring parts of Xochimilco, building axolotl sanctuaries, artificial habitats where they can live and breed safely. Some scientists are even raising them in labs, with the dream of releasing them back into the wild once the waters are clean again. And here's the beautiful irony. The axolotl may not be able to save itself. But by saving it, we might just save ourselves. Because the same pollution, destruction, and imbalance that threaten this tiny creature are the same forces destroying our own world. So maybe the real message of the axolotl isn't about immortality, it's about responsibility. Because in the story of life on Earth, the most powerful act of regeneration might be learning how to protect what's still alive. So, what have we learned from this tiny smiling creature? That power doesn't always roar. Sometimes it simply smiles from beneath the surface. Quiet, gentle, and eternal. The axolotl may be small, but it carries within it one of nature's greatest miracles, the ability to begin again. It loses a limb and grows a new one. It gets hurt and heals completely. It never grows old, never stops smiling, and somehow never gives up. And maybe that's the real lesson here. We humans might not be able to regrow our hearts or our limbs, but we can regrow something just as important: our compassion, our respect for life, our connection to the world around us. Because every creature, from the fiercest predator to the tiniest amphibian, plays a part in the story of our planet. And if we lose them, we lose a piece of ourselves. So the next time you see that smiling face online, that adorable pink creature that looks too cute to be real, remember what it represents: hope, resilience, and a reminder that it's never too late to start healing, for the axolotl, for nature, and for us. If you enjoyed this journey, don't forget to subscribe to Animal Ranking Hub, where we explore the world's most powerful, mysterious, and awe-inspiring animals, and uncover what they can teach us about our own humanity. Until next time, keep exploring, keep protecting, and never stop being amazed by the miracles of life.